Let us see the self-bias configuration for the FET. The self-bias circuit does not have any uh, voltage, or there is one power supply less on the input side. However, to provide a feedback, this RS is used. So this RS acts as a negative feedback to the gate, and that ensures that the gate to source voltage is always at the negative side, and because of that the gating action is there in the FET. So this is the circuit for the self bias circuit. Now let us see the analysis of this circuit. Then the idea of this RS or the function of this RS will become more clear. Let us apply KVL to the input side. We have VGS minus IGRG plus IDS into RS equal to 0. As we know that IG is going to be equal to 0. So because the gate to source junction is reverse bias, this term Ig into Rg is almost going to be equal to 0. Hence we can write Vgs is equal to minus Id into Rs. We know that the equation that links the input to the output side is Id equal to IDSS into 1 minus Vgs by Vp the whole square. Now what we do is, if we consider this as equation 1 and this as equation 2, and if we substitute the value of VGS into this, we get ID is equal to IDSS into 1 minus of IDRS by VP. VP value is always negative and VGS is also always negative. So that leaves us with ID is equal to IDSS into 1 plus IDRS by VP the whole square. So that is what we can see. Now if we closely look at the equations, at VGS is equal to VGSQ, this ID becomes, so IDS can be replaced by IDSQ. So we can write IDSQ, and that is IDSQ is equal to IDSS into 1 plus IDSQ RS by VP the whole square. One important fact here is that on both the sides of the equation we have IDSQ and IDSQ. So we can say that this equation is a quadratic in IDSQ. So if we solve this equation, which is a quadratic in IDSQ, we will get two values of IDSQ. So let us say that the two values are IDSQ1 and IDSQ2. So by solving this equation, we will get IDSQ1, IDSQ2. Now how do we select? So if we get two values, we can't have two quiescent points for the same circuit. So we will have to make a choice in this case. So let us say we will get IDSQ1 and IDSQ2. From the previous equation, we can see that VGS is equal to minus ID times RS. So VGSQ is equal to minus IDSQ into RS, where IDSQ has got two values now, ID1 and ID2. So what we do is we substitute the two values of IDSQ1 and IDSQ2 in this equation, VGS, and select that value of IDSQ for which my VGS is greater than VP. So if VP is minus 4, my VGS, for example, has to be greater than that, so it can be around minus 2.5. So this is for example. Okay, so for example, if we have this condition, then we can select, so we have to select VGS or IDSQ or IDSQ1 on or IDSQ2 in such a way that this VGS is always above VP, or it is greater than the pinch off voltage. So that is a very important thing in the self bias circuit. Now applying KVL on the output side, we have VDD minus IDRD minus VDS minus ID into RS equal to 0. That leaves us with VDSQ is equal to VDD minus IDSQ into RD plus RS. Now from this equation it can be seen that the slope of this line is now depending upon the term RD plus RS. The slope of the DC load line will now depend upon RD plus RS. Also, my VGS is minus ID times RS. So the slope of this line is RS, and the slope of this line, that is the DC load line, is RD plus RS. So how do you draw a line on ID versus VGS curve having this equation? So we draw a point starting from the origin, and once we draw a line with slope RS on ID versus VGS axis, it is going to cut the maximum and minimum transfer characteristics at 2 points. Again, we project these 2 points on the DC load line. So ID max gives us Q point for maximum transfer characteristics, and ID min gives us Q point for minimum transfer characteristics. Now it can be observed that this difference in Q point with the minimum and maximum transfer characteristics is now slightly lower as compared to the fixed bias circuit. That means even if the temperature varies, the variation in Q point is not much because of the self bias circuit. That is why we prefer self bias circuit over the fixed bias circuit. However, fixed bias circuit is used in switching applications, and because the Q point is in saturation and it's near cutoff in the fixed bias circuit, whereas here both the Q points corresponding to maximum and minimum transfer characteristics lie in the saturation region itself. So this is actually the transistor characteristics that one may have, and this is this is where the Q point is, that is in the saturation region. So when the Q point, and here somewhere here we will have a cutoff. So if the Q point is near the cutoff, then we can say that we can use the transistor as a switch, and if the Q points are in the saturation region or in deep saturations, then we say that the Q point, then the transistor in this configuration can be used as a amplifier. So when we talk about self-biasing circuits, we can talk about amplification, and when we talk about fixed bias circuits, we have to talk about switching. So fixed bias circuits are used for switching, and self-bias circuits are used for amplification. So please note this. Here the Q point is a function of VDSQ and IDSQ, but to determine IDSQ we have to solve a quadratic. We get two currents, IDSQ1 and IDSQ2. Select either of them depending upon what the value of VGS comes out to be, and the value of VGS for the IDSQ substituted must always be greater than VP. Select that value of IDSQ1 or IDSQ2 which satisfies this condition. So that is very important in this circuit and something to note. Thank you.